Hey, are you doing some faux pas in networking? The reason I ask is because I've had some folks reach out asking to network, and then once we get on a Zoom or we get together in person, there are a number of faux pas that happen when we get together. So if this is your first time hopping on, aloha, my name is Marianne Roos. I am your guide to releasing the badass in you. It is a busy time of the year for me because as a gratitude consultant, there is a lot of gratitude to be done for businesses, and I help them to share gratitudes with their clients and networks. Now, when it comes to networking, what are some of the faux pas and how to properly network, right? So, I'm actually going to have a handout in the show notes right here that you can go and grab, where I will share an outline of do's and don'ts and also questions to ask when you are networking. But basically, first off, what is networking? Networking is where you get together with someone or with a group of people for the purpose of learning what each person does, and if it makes sense, to collaborate. And right there in itself, that explains, or you might be getting an idea of some of the faux pas that are happening. And some of them have been coming through, for example, through LinkedIn with messages that are coming through, and I respond, especially when they ask to connect, right? It's somebody brand new. I don't know who they are. I don't know what kind of business they do. I could read their description, but descriptions are not always very clear. Like if you read mine, you might go, wow, she does a whole lot, which I do. But what is my main focus, right? I have one main focus, and the rest are things that I also enjoy doing. But to where somebody will do a connection request, and if it looks like it's a person, right? Because if there's no profile picture and stuff, I'm sorry, but I'm not dealing with somebody that does not have a profile picture on the platforms. And hopefully that the picture is who they are, right? I realize that that could happen as well. But if they say that they would like to connect and it's a person, I'm like, okay, sure, fine, let's go. I will say, thank you for connecting. Are you looking to network, or did you see something on my profile that piqued your interest? That way I'm looking to find out, why did they want to connect, right? If I get silence, then I know that they're not really looking to network or interested in something that they saw on my profile. Maybe they didn't even look at my profile. They're just looking to connect, and looking to make some sales. That's it, which is fine. That's what they're looking to do. They're not looking to network. So if they're coming up as ghosting me and silent, I'm not going to go chasing, right? No need. Now, if they say that they're open to networking, we'll get on a Zoom, because most likely it's somebody that's not right in the area where I'm at, right? We'll get on a Zoom. And networking, like I said, is about getting to know what you each do. And if it makes sense, collaborate, because it does not always make sense. And in that description, there's nothing about trying to sell your stuff to that other person. It's about educating. It's about getting to know. It's about understanding. It is different from knocking on somebody's door and say, hey, do you want to buy? That is not what networking is. Networking is, let's get to know. Let's find out what you do. Do we jive? Do we match? And does collaborating on something make sense? Or does me connecting you with somebody that might need your services make sense? Does connecting you to somebody that might use your products makes sense? Because sometimes it's products, sometimes it's services, right? So that is what networking is. And so what kind of questions would you ask, right? Especially it's a brand new person, somebody that you may have never met. Well, asking about their business. How did you get into the line of business that you're doing? Where did you find that passion to do that? And do you have any success stories? Asking different things like that to uncover a little bit more about their business versus here's my spiel, poof, this is what we do, here's the menu of items, right? And to where as you get to know the person, there might be some ideas of ways that you can contribute, provide value to one another. And sometimes when we network, we decide, you know what? We don't really click. We don't really jive. Or what you offer is not, I don't see the value in what you offer. Or maybe you might already have somebody that provides what they provide and that you have a relationship built with them. But it's always good to network and find out who else offers what, right? So, in a nutshell, networking is a fantastic way to get to know other people that do different things than what you do, that also do the same thing that you do, and if it makes sense, collaborate. And yes, collaborating can also happen with people that do the same thing that you do. So once again, I will put do's and don'ts and some examples of questions that you can use when you network right here in the show notes. You can just go ahead and grab them. And if you have any questions and would like to do some networking with me, let me know. And I will share my scheduling link with you so that we can hop on a Zoom. And also I do some networking with some very specific networking groups, such as BNI, which stands for Business Network International. And there, once, as you heard in the word, it's international. So I get to network with people all over the world. I have been making connections that have been very powerful in my business, and also connections that I have been able to then connect them with others to where it makes sense for them to collaborate. So whichever way it works, as you network, it is about providing value. It is about being there, not for selling, but for getting to know one another and how can you provide value to one another. Sometimes it's by making connections, sometimes it's by sharing resources, sometimes it's by becoming somebody's customer. Sometimes it is by sharing their information with somebody else. There are so many different ways. So with that said, I'm going to say who we hope, and until next time, I would love to hear where you go to network. If you have any tips, maybe something that is not on the handout that is right here in the notes, right? So if I missed something, feel free to put that in the chat, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. So until next time, toodle pip, a hooey ho, toodaloo.